get out of this damn cold. I'm sure these Greybeards are expecting me. They did summon us. Which galls me to admit that I came here. You know, Sophia, if I want to snuggle for body warmth, I'll tell you, alright? Maybe later. Oh, this must be the chest. Alright, there we go. There. I guess we can go home now. Alright, come on. Though this place really doesn't look like a monastery. It's too solidly built. I believe it was a fortress at one point. Not sure why. There are no defenses worth mentioning. I mean, it's the front door, for God's sake. Well, I guess probably they got rid of the outer walls in time. Oh, right, yes, freezing to death. Let's go. Oh, well, it is, thankfully, a lot warmer here. And apparently we are expected. Good. Saves us the trouble of having to go shouting about. You there?
So, a dragonborn appears at this moment in the turning of the age.
Well, of course. Anyway, you call me Dragonborn. What does that mean exactly?
First, let us see if you truly are Dragonborn. Let us taste of your voice.
Oh, come on. Of course I'm Dragonborn. Would I come here otherwise?
Do not be afraid. Your shout will not harm us.
Well, believe me, harming you is the least thing I'm afraid of. Fine. You want fire breath? No, of course not. Let's not risk.
I'm all ears. Well, not literally, of course.
It is you. Welcome to High Hrothgar. I am Master Arngir. I speak for the Greybeards. Now, tell me, Dragonborn, why have you come here?
Well, I'd like to say I came here because I was told that you could teach me how to kill with but a single word. But no, yes. I want to find out what it means to be Dragonborn. Everyone keeps talking about it, but no one can give me a straight answer.
We are here to guide you in that pursuit.
Oh.
Just as the Greybeards have sought to guide those of the dragon blood that came before you.
You mean I'm not the only one? Oh, that makes me feel so much less special.
You are not the first. There have been many of the dragon blood since Akatosh first bestowed that gift upon mortal kind. Whether you are the only dragonborn of this age, that is not ours to know. You are the only one that has been revealed thus far.
Good.
That is all I can say.
Less competition. Anyway, I'm here. So when do you start teaching me these words of power?
You have shown that you are dragonborn. You have the inborn gift. But do you have the discipline and temperament to follow the path laid out for you? That remains to be seen. Without training, you have already taken the first steps towards projecting your voice into a thum, a shout. Now let us see if you are willing and able to learn. When you shout, you speak in the language of dragons. Thus, your dragon blood gives you an inborn ability to learn words of power.
Dragon blood.
All shouts are made up of 3 words of power. As you master each word, your shout will become progressively stronger. Master Einarth will now teach you Ro, the 2nd word in Unrelenting Force. Ro means balance in the dragon tongue. Combine it with Fus, force, to focus your thumb more sharply.
Well, that's flashy. All right. Row.
You learn a new word like a master. You truly do have the gift. But learning a word of power is only the first step. You must unlock its meaning through constant practice in order to use it in a shout. Well, that is how the rest of us learn shouts. As Dragonborn, you can absorb a slain dragon's life force and knowledge directly. As part of your initiation, Master Einarth will allow you to tap into his understanding of Ro.
Oh,
I'm right behind you.
I thought I was going to have to kill you.
Now, let us see how quickly you can master your new thumb.
Yes, all right.
Use your unrelenting force shout to strike the targets as they appear.
Targets. What targets? What?
Let me guess. You want to talk?
You know what?
I'm all ears.
Yes.
Well, not literally,
Relax
of
for a
course.
while, all right?
Why do you get to...
Everyone, relax for a while, all right? Not gather around me.
You learn quickly. Once more.
Go. You could relax over there.
Your thumb is precise. You show great promise, Dragonborn.
All right.
We will perform your next trial in the courtyard. Follow Master Bori.
Master Bori. Can't you old men wear some name placards or something? Everyone, come here. Everyone. All right, you can come along. I know you want to see everything. The rest of you just don't touch anything, all right? Let's be tolerable to our teachers. Sophia?
Do you have something to say?
No, not really.
Yes, let's go.
Right, sorry about that.
Yes?
I didn't mean to shout at you. Sorry, fine. Sorry. Whoa! Alright, that seems a lot stronger than just a simple fool's row. Where do I learn that?
You will now see how you learn a completely new shout. Master Bori will teach you Wuld, which means whirlwind.
Whirlwind? Oh.
You must hear the word within yourself before you can project it into a thum.
I don't need to... Oh, alright.
Approach Master Bori and he will gift you his knowledge of Wuld.
Simply strange.
Now we will see how quickly you can master a new shout.
Are these men actually
Master
men,
Hrothgar
or are they
will
dragons
demonstrate
in some sort of
whirlwind
guise?
strength. Then it will be your turn.
Alright, let's prepare that. Wool.
Master Bori. X. Wuld.
Well, oh,
Now, your turn.
that was...
Stand next to me. Master Bori will open the gate. Use your whirlwind sprint to pass through before it closes.
Alright. That was rather exhilarating. And kind of silly, but... Lucian,
What can I do for you, my friend?
it's alright.
On we go.
Your quick mastery of a new theme is astonishing.
It's a
I've
one-syllable
heard the
word.
stories of the abilities of Dragonborn, but to see it for myself.
Well, anyway, I guess I'm grateful. So what's next? How about the words that kill people?
You are now ready for your last trial.
Last trial.
Retrieve the horn of Jürgen Windcaller, our founder, from his tomb in the ancient fane of Ostengrav.
What now?
Remain true to the way of the voice, and you will return.
You know, I haven't even gotten warm yet here, and you're sending me off to find some thing. Alright, fine, I guess. Last thing I want to do is stay here for any length of time. Anyway, so there are only 4 of you here.
5. Our
5.
leader, Parthenax, lives alone on the peak of the throat of the world. When your voice can open the path, you will know you are ready to speak to him.
Huh. So, I guess Jürgen Windcaller, I'm well aware of who he is. So, shouts are in the dragon language. Why is that?
Dragons have always been able to shout. Language is intrinsic to their being. There is no difference in the dragon tongue between debating and fighting. Shouting comes as naturally to a dragon as breathing or speaking.
Huh.
In mythic times, when mortal kind was in great need, the goddess Kinnereth granted us the ability to speak as dragons do. For most people, long years of training are required to learn even the simplest shout. But for you, the dragon speech is in your blood, and you learn it almost without effort.
Do I detect some bit of jealousy in that? I mean, how long have you been here? And you're master now. But seeing me just learn words must be kind of annoying. And one more thing. Dragons have been returning recently. I was wondering, perhaps does it have something to do with perhaps me being Dragonborn?
No doubt, the appearance of a Dragonborn at this time is not an accident. Your destiny is surely bound up with the return of the dragons. You should focus on honing your voice, and soon your path will be made clear.
Right, fine. Surely there's more you can tell me, aside from a couple of syllables.
There is indeed much that we know that you do not. That does not mean that you are ready to understand it. Do not let your easy mastery of the voice tempt you into the arrogance of power. That has been the downfall of many Dragonborn before you.
Huh. Anyway, fine. Alright, I'll go find this horn.
Sky, guard you.
To be honest, I am...
We need the horn of Jürgen Windcaller. And where is it? In a dungeon full of Draugr, of course. Where else would you keep a musical instrument?
Well, the Bard's College. And I gather an old tomb would probably be easier to penetrate. What was I saying? Yes. My thoughts on this whole affair, this whole place. I hate it. I hate these Greybeards. This way of the voice, it's utterly stupid. The Thuum, a unique form of magic, unique to Nords, and a select few, of course. Yet what do they do with this unique power? The literal power to carve mountains, and they squirrel it away on top of a mountain, where few, if any, would ever want to come and find. Give it a few decades, a century, and these 4 hermits will be dead, and along with them their voice magic. What does that attain? Build an academy, a school. Teach it to as many talented and dedicated individuals as can be. Grow the damn skill. If there are abuses, punishment can be meted out, made examples of. But then you have a living art form, a living science, which can be used, not buried under the ground, or in this case, atop a big pile of rock to rot away. I hate these old men. I hate these thoughts. I hate it. It's so stupid. Men are stupid. Present company, notwithstanding. Fine. Let's go. Well, it's evening. I don't think these Greybeards will appreciate us staying here any longer than we have to. It's not that late. Let's go. Everyone, we are done here. Time to leave. Where's Sophia? Oh, there you are. Sophia.
Was there something you wanted?
Oh, come on, just follow me.
Okay, let's go pick some flowers.
What can I do for you, friend?
Just kidding. I want to go and kill something.
Probably won't happen.
Those Greybeards are a strange bunch. Imagine having to sit there in silence all the time. I just couldn't do it. I struggle staying quiet for even a minute. Also, what's the point in having all that power and not using it? I suppose those Greybeards must be getting on a bit, though.
You know, you say one thing that annoys me, yet the next moment you say something that I totally identify with. So, good.
Hung the lantern courtyard, tallest mountain in Skyrim. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? We should fetch our good friend Lydia and show her the view. And at the same time, you could show her your new shout. If she accidentally falls, then I suppose it's no big loss. What? Don't give me that look.
Jealous, are we? Alright. Yes, so stupid. But you know what, I guess in the end it's more advantageous that these Greybeards are indeed just wasting their skills away here atop the mountain.
Sorry, that was a bad joke.
If the Nords did have access to armies of Thuum users, might make them more a force to be reckoned with against the Dominion. Perhaps, you know, once we learn all that we can from these old men, we can go back to Somerset, set up a school, our Academy of the Voice. And probably people would come and think that it's a Bard's College. No, yes. Probably not too high profile. Just big enough to attract good talent. Can have a cabal of vocally powerful followers. What's that? Is that the town? No, wrong turn. Sorry. Yes. Not too many. You don't want too many idiots running around shouting at things. Just enough. An elite core of Thum users. A choir answering only to me. Yes, it'll be glorious. It'll be a thing of beauty. We'll make great music together. Figuratively, of course. I wonder if I'll be able to teach this through myself. The trick is actually finding people who have the gift. You don't have to be Dragonborn to actually know the Thum. As far as I can tell, none of the Greybeards are Dragonborn. And I am aware that Ulfric Stormcloak can use the Thum. So it's an ability that can be taught and learned. Not sure if everyone can do it. At least we don't have to wait full generations to look for users or potentials. In any case, that will take time. We're but a learner ourselves at this point. Now, the trick is finding this tomb of Jürgen Windcaller. But before we go heading off to find some ancient fane, we have something to do in Riften. It's not too far from here. Well, it's far from here, but it's at least in the direction that we're headed. Another asset of the Dominion that we have to collect. Very useful asset. As if I couldn't get more miserable than I already am. Guess we could stay at the inn for the night. Spend the night here, then head off for Riften in the morning. What's this?
You're rather hard to track down. I'll give you that.
Who are you? What do you want?
I was asked to find you as soon as possible. If you ask me, this problem sounds urgent. You'd best head on over to the Bannered Mare in Whiterun. Speak to Lurius Lior. He mentioned something about trouble with the dragon and the promise of a generous reward. Sounds tempting. If I were you, I'd best not keep him waiting.
Still here.
Whatever. Who are you? Who are you?
You there. You're the one they call Dragonborn.
Dragonborn? I don't know what you're talking about. I am merely an adventurer.
Your lies fall on deaf ears, deceiver. We know you are the false Dragonborn.
Why
You
ask?
shall not stand in the way of the true Dragonborn's return. He comes soon, and we
True
shall offer him your heart.
My heart?
When Lord Mirak appears, all shall bear witness. None shall stand to oppose him.
What?
Get him!
What?
Broken nail. Get them! Woman. They always fight dirty. Another fight.
Alright.
Die, damn you!
Oh, interesting. Some sort of cultist, I guess. Oh, perhaps just scuba addicts. Very interesting mask, though. Dunbar. Huh. Alright, what did I do to tick off Janessa's people? Janessa? Where are you?
Rain. Skyrim weather at its finest.
Alright, yes. Where's the other one? Yes, you are the one speaking ill of me. So I'll take your robes, which seem to be of value. Board the vessel Northern Maiden, docked at Raven Rock. Take it to Windhelm and begin your search. Kill the false Dragonborn, known as Daniel, before he reaches Solstein. Solstein? Return with word of your success in Mirak. Shall be most pleased. Huh. Mirak. Oh, I guess we have to put away some things. Apparently we are false Dragonborn. Well, la-di-da. They have to prove it. Right. Come on.
Welcome to the building. If there's anything I can get you, just let me know.
It's us. Oh, whatever. Everyone, find your little spot.
Skyrim certainly has its fair share of inns.
I'm going to bed.
I'm not very good, and it's only for the same few people every night.
Ah,
I think you play beautifully. It would be a shame if you stopped.
are you still
All right,
at this?
I suppose it's the least I can do for you.
You.
Hello, friend.
Yes, I'd like to rent the room again. And don't get angry at me if I still own the damn place.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Alright, good.
I'll show you to your room.
I know where it is. Ah, whatever. Lucian,
Well, well, well.
what?
Dragonborn. Now with the Greybeards' seal of approval and a bunch of shiny mystical powers to boot. Do you have any idea how exciting this is for me? To be able to study the Thu'um up close and with such regularity. I must write this all up. No other scientist in Tamriel has this kind of opportunity.
Oh, I'm so glad that you have a test subject. Well, whatever. As long as you share your research findings with me, I will not have any objections. In any case, go on, relax. We leave early tomorrow.
Right you are, boss.
Alright, Huh. Alright, whatever. Oh, by the gods! Whatever. So if we follow the road out, across the bridge, just keep going east We should find our way to Riften. It means that way. Right, let's prepare just in case. So we've learned a couple of syllables. Yes, that's worth it to go up the tallest mountain in all of Skyrim. Freeze half to death. Oh, whatever. No one ever learned something worth it too easily. Riften is that way. As I was saying, we're going to Riften to pick up another Dominion asset. A rather valuable one, actually. A warrior, an assassin of some reputation. Someone who has proven quite useful and reliable in the past for the Dominion. He's known only as the Blue Cat. I don't know if it's alias or his actual name or something. All I know is he's quite skilled.
All right. Hand over your valuables, or I'll gut you like a fish.
Walk away. Right now.
Well, I can see you're not one to be trifled with. Let this be a warning to you.
I have half a mind to murder you right now, but you know what? It's too wet to care.
God, another one. I'm getting out of here.
What is he talking about? What the hell? What's going on? What's happening? Hello?
Yes?
Who are you?
Perhaps we could pick up the pace a little?
Vigilant of
My boots are
Stenda?
starting to slosh.
Yes, yes. What is this? Oh. Well, doing your God's good work, eh? Yes, murdering lone women on the road. Truly the work of gods. What? What's happening? Seems that the countryside of the Rift is rather active. I hope we are still in the right direction. Riften, what the hell? Riften is that way. What the hell? Oh. Wait. That is... Huh. Alright, apparently we made the wrong turn. That's so odd. Alright. If we continued on that path, it would have taken us to Eastmarch, apparently, which is adjacent to the Rift. Continue following the road.
Storms used to scare me when I was little. Now I just find them exciting.
Good. You'd be rather useless if you go into the fetal position every time it rains. Alright, good. I actually love the rain. Yes, I do. Makes everything look so much more interesting. What? What's this? Oh, it's a troll. Alright. Firebolt, fire breath. Oh, some wood. Whoa, that's a large troll. Did I hit you, didn't I? Sorry about that. Oh! I know you. You're Yada.
What kind of fool plays with fire like that?
Sorry. It was an accident. Didn't expect to see the companions here. Oh, they're here.
I was the newest companion until you came along. I guess that's okay. Just means I can show you the ropes.
Yes, you like saying that. Are you trying to
All right,
tell
then.
me something? Whatever. Well, throwing a firebolt at Nyada isn't all that bad. Alright. Come on.
What a coward. Didn't even put up a proper fight.
Yeah. That just made my morning. Alright. I don't think I'll ever be able to finish one single train of thought with all this activity. Anyway, yes, as I was saying, as I was thinking, before I was so rudely interrupted several times, this blue cat, I'm going to have to recover him before anything else. But that means I may need to get rid of someone already here. I don't want the group to grow any more larger than it already is. Too large and we will attract too much attention. Question is who? Something to consider. Is that a fort? Know what? Raid. Let's get ourselves to Riften before anything else. Once we have our new member, then let's consider smashing forts. Alright, as long as we stay on this path, whatever happens, we will reach Riften. Who are you? Too well armed to be a hunter or a simple traveler, no.
There's been word of some trouble nearby. I'm on my way to investigate.
Investigate where?
I probably shouldn't tell everyone who asks. This is important business, you know.
That is really nice armor. Alright, fine, whatever.
Until next time.
Ugh. Uh-oh. How many bears do we need to counter this day? Why isn't anyone helping? Yes, you're welcome. Oh, that's why no one was helping. It's a stupid, ungrateful orc. What the hell? Ow!
You've obviously never met me. Otherwise you would be cowering right now.
Ah, hate that sting. You know, Sophia,
Yes? Did you want something?
you just made me wonder what a cowering spider would actually look like. Alright, are we actually going in the right direction? We probably are. Well, the rift so far has proven to be two things. Very hostile and very wet. A lot of forts. What the hell? Whoa! An assassin, alright? Well, I wasn't hitting you. Fine. First you curse me and now you... Well, you didn't actually curse me. Fine. Oh, another assassin. Yes, yes, as instructed, eliminate Daniel, blah blah blah. What else is new? Really, we should go after this Astrid. Show her just how large my hammer is. Literally. Not figuratively. Yes, it has been quite interesting walking in Riften. What the hell now? Yes, more spiders. Whoa!
That's how it's done.
Did I hit you? No. Couldn't have hit you. I think the rift is going to prove to be very, very interesting. Lots of things to explore. Let's think about it. What's this place? Is this Riften? Didn't see any bridge on the way to Riften. What's this? Thought it would be larger. Supposed to be a major city. Hello.
Yes?
Oh, it's some sort of manor. What? Golden Glow Estate. This is some sort of rich lord's
I'm right behind you.
dwelling. Interesting. Maybe it's the home of the local Jarl. No, they like to dwell near their subjects. All the better to be protected. So who is that? Golden Glow. Seem to recall the name in the files, but not sure where. Way Riften is almost... I think I see it. And look, the rain has stopped. Just as we were approaching the city. What a bastard. Alright, here we are.
Hold and stand down. If you want to get into Riften, use the north gate. This one's closed.
Why? What's going on? Dragon attack?
My orders are to tell the riffraff to use the north gate. That's it.
Well, I'm not riffraff, so you can make an exception in my case, right?
No. You can use the north gate, or you can head to the next city.
Ah! But I have half a mind to murder him. Fine! It's pointless to go up against the city guard. What's with that? What's the point of having a gate if it's closed? Don't have a gate at all. Is it? Hello?
What could it mean? The return of the Dragonborn? And who among us could possibly hold that honor? And such power?
Well, could give you a couple of clues. Anyway. Is this the north gate? How many gates does this city have?
Most people in Skyrim don't have
Yes, Janessa, I know. After being attacked by a couple of your countrymen, I can't say that I'm not surprised. Oh, that's being xenophobic. It sadly comes naturally to me. What? What's all that shouting? I think that's the north gate. Something. All right. Well, finally here. I'm so glad. I just want to kick back, find a nice warm inn.
Hold there.
Oh,
Before
by
I
the
let you into
gods!
Riften, you need to pay the visitor's tax.
Visitor's tax? And what's this tax for?
For the privilege of entering the city. What does it matter?
Oh, it matters a lot. I mean... Wait. This is obviously a shakedown, isn't it?
All right, keep your voice down. You want everyone to hear you?
Well.
I'll let you in. Just let me unlock the gate.
Huh. City of Thieves is quite
Gate's unlocked.
apt.
You can head inside when you're ready.
Good to hear.
People laugh at things they don't believe. It helps them accept the unknown.
That's something that I would never have expected to hear from you. Rather profound. Anyway, yes. So, Riften, City of Thieves, home of the Thieves Guild, allegedly. The place where we will find our newest member. I think I'm going to enjoy it here, despite everything.